Hello everyone and welcome back to another session presented to you by SSB Crack Exams on Daily Current Affairs for 22nd April 2020. I am Chetana Purav and I'll be taking today's session. I am a GK and Current Affairs tutor. Now moving on, let me give you a brief about SSB Crack Exam. So we offer various courses for all the major defense exams, be it CDS, NDA, INET, Territorial Army, etc. For more details, you can visit our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. You can also follow us on YouTube and Instagram. And don't forget to download our app SSB Crack Exams, which is available on Google Play Store. Before we start to discuss the news, we will first recall the question that I asked you yesterday. So I asked you to answer the difference between NREGA and MG NREGA, and there was one or two answers which I got in the comment section yesterday, and one of them was exactly correct. So yes, there is no major difference between MNREGA, MG NREGA and NREGA. See, what happened is that NREGA, which is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, it was passed in 2005, September 2005, and this basically is this provides employment of 100 days, guarantees an employment of 100 days to unskilled laborers in one financial year. Okay, and they will be paid. They are paid basically daily wages for that, and this was NREGA. But later on, by some amendment, Mahatma Gandhi was just added to its name NREGA, so NREGA became MG NREGA. Okay, this was done through an amendment which was done in 2008. So there is no major difference, just the difference of name is there, and this Mahatma Gandhi was added in 2008. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Now let us start our news discussion. So the very first news comes from G20, about G20. So G20 Agriculture Ministers meeting held recently, and it was organized by the Saudi presidency. Saudi Arabia organized it, of course, through video conferencing because of the COVID-19 effect worldwide. What was the purpose of this G20 agriculture meeting? So the purpose was to deliberate on the ways and means of ensuring continuity of food supply value chain, including livelihood of farmers. Okay, now the next point is that who were the attendees, who were the persons, or who were the countries that attended. So all the G20 members, basically, especially in fact the agriculture ministers of all the G20 members and some other guest countries which were also invited to this meeting, they attended this particular meeting. Okay, now what were the discussions that were made in this particular session? So a declaration of G20 agriculture minister was accepted because it was one of a kind. This meeting was one of a kind. And then to have international cooperation in the backdrop of COVID-19 pandemic, that means that whatever the backdrop has, whatever the effect has been caused due to the pandemic COVID-19 all across the world, a cooperation was expected by each and every country to avoid especially the food wastages and the food losses. Okay, and to maintain the continuity of food supply value chain across the borders. From India's behalf, the India's Union Agriculture Minister, Shri Narendra Singh Tomar. Remember this name, India's Union Agriculture Minister, Shri Narendra Singh Tomar represented India and he participated in this meet. Okay, now let us move ahead to our next news. Lifeline Udan flights taking medical cargo. Now, if you haven't heard about Lifeline Udan is a fleet which is basically used for medical purposes, medical rescue purposes during disasters and all. So that is what it is used for. But currently, due to Corona pandemic, we all know that lockdown has been imposed all across the country. So this Lifeline Udan is being utilized basically to transport essential medical cargo equipments to remote parts of the country. Specifically, if I talk about the parts of the country, so specifically they are they are used for northeastern states, the states which are in the north region of India, which are hilly areas and islands. Okay, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar. So Basically, Lifeline Udan is operated by MOCA. If you don't know MOCA, MOCA is nothing but Ministry of Civil Aviation, and uh, there are there is a fleet of 316 flights in total, but out of those 316, only 196 has been used for this purpose. And majorly it has been the priority of the cargo products that are being transported through these flights are given to voluminous product which have a very less weight. For example, you can say the masks that we are using, the PPE, personal protective equipments that are being transported, they are being transported through Lifeline Udan flights. The reason being because they are very well, very bulky, but at the same time they weigh very very less. Okay, so that will be easier for the flights to carry them. Helicopter fleet Pawan Hans also is being used in the same way, and Pawan Hans Limited, majority of the Pawan Hans Limited helicopters are being used currently in the region of Jammu and Kashmir. And Lifeline Udan, you must know that Lifeline Udan fleet is basically handled by MOCA and Air India and Alliance Airlines, and some of it is also handled by Indian Air Force. Now, moving on to our next news. So, the next news is again another app which was launched by the Health Minister, Mr. Dr. Harshvardhan, and the name of the app is COVID India Seva. And Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare, which is Dr. Harshvardhan, he has launched this new app, and it will be an interactive platform to establish a direct channel of communication. See, I have highlighted the keywords. You must focus on the keywords. So it will provide an interactive platform to establish a direct channel of communication with millions of Indians amid the pandemic. What is the objective? What was the objective behind launching this particular app? So the objective was nothing but to initiate, to aim the entire movement at enabling transparent e-governance, delivery in real time, and answering citizen queries swiftly at scale, especially in crisis situations like the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. So the main focus was transparency and basically the transparent e-governance and delivery in real time. This was the main focus behind the launch of this particular app. Now, moving on to our next news. So the government has decided to extend its exemption list. So there are certain activities or institutions that have been allowed amidst this lockdown, and they have been exempted from the list of lockdown. So let us look at the list. First of all the agricultural and horticultural activities related to that, they have been allowed and they have been exempted from the lockdown list. And shops of educational books for students, so they will also be open. Shops of electric fans, considering the fact that the summer season in India is arriving, so shops of electric fans will also be open, will also be allowed. Forestry plantation and silviculture operations, they will also be allowed. Okay, now let us move ahead to our next news. The next news is about another app which is Sayam, and this was designed by Pune Municipal Corporation under Smart Cities Mission. And this, the main aim of this Sayam app was to track home quarantined citizens. Okay, so what does this app do? Nothing but to effectively track home quarantined citizens and ensure they are actually staying at home. So if you're staying, if you have been home quarantined due to your positive testing of coronavirus, then this app will be installed in your phone, and you will be tracked by using the mobile application, and which will be of course GPS, which will be of course tracked by using the GPS system. Okay, that is how the local officials will take they will ensure that you are actually staying at your home or not during your quarantine period. Okay, so this is a very you can say a smart step taken by the Pune Municipal Corporation. Now, moving on to our next news. So MNRE extends due date for projects. There are many solar projects and non-renewable energy projects that were to be completed in a very recent time, but due to Corona pandemic, they have been extended. The last date of completion has been extended, of course, due to unavailability of labor or transportation issues, logistical issues. There are many issues which cannot be completed. So that is why MNRE, which is also Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, has decided to extend the due date for these projects by additional 30 days after the lockdown ends. So for example, as of now, if the lockdown is till 3rd May, then after 3rd May, additional 30 days have been asked by MNRE to extend the projects. Okay, this has been done. And there's one more news that, however, manufacture of new solar PV cells, the new solar PV cells, the manufacture and their supply, they will be extended by 6 months. Okay, so the new approved projects will be extended by just 30 days, but the manufacture of new solar PV cells, PV is nothing but photovoltaic cells which are used in solar panels, as you can see in the image over here. These are photovoltaic cells and they will be extended by 6 months. Now moving on to our next news. So Indian Railways to provide water for Delhi Police. Indian Railways has been very active in providing food and water in many ways. So Indian Railway will be providing 10,000 liters of water bottles, or basically one water bottle is of 1 liter. So 10,000 liter of water per day to Delhi police official or personals who have been out on the streets in the war against coronavirus. Right. So this is a very good step, good initiative by Indian Railways. 50,000 bottles have already been distributed and will be continued till 3rd May. So they'll be continuing this distribution until 3rd of May. And railway, apart from that, railway has also been providing bulk cooked food, which is in cooperation with IRCTC based kitchens. Okay, and these bulk cooked food are served with a paper plate, so that of course, to make the entire process hassle free for the consumer. Now let us move ahead to our next news. Under PM Kisan scheme, 17,793 crores of rupees have been released. For what purpose? So the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare and Government of India is taking several measures to facilitate the farmers and farming activities at field level. And to boost that, they have released this much amount of money, which will be directly put in 8.89 crore of farmer families account, and they will be directly benefited from this particular money. And of course, they can use it as and per they want for their agricultural needs. So this will give a very good boost and motivate the farmers financially. It will help their financial condition amid this corona outbreak. Okay. The next news is distribution of food under PMGKY scheme. PMGKY is nothing but Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, which was started in 2016. Under this scheme, the distribution of pulses have been done, and it will benefit around 20 crore household spread across 36 states and union territories. And in order to provide food security, mainly the main focus is on food security of these farmer families during the prevailing situation due to COVID-19 pandemic. The government has decided to distribute pulses to the eligible households, to all the households which are eligible, which account for almost 19.5 crore people household basically, and about 107,000 metric ton pulses have so far been issued to all the 36 states and union territories. Okay, which will be of course distributed to these households. Now moving on to our next news. So India and Afghanistan will combat COVID-19 together. This was uh, uh, basically a sweet gesture by Ashraf Ghani, which tweeted and provided greetings to India for, you can say, see, the PM Modi was what happened actually was PM Modi responded to a tweet from Afghanistan president, who is Dr. Ashraf Ghani, who expressed his gratitude towards India for providing essential medicines and hydrochloroquine. So India provided and exported some essential medicines, hydrochloroquine, which is in demand right now across all the world, and paracetamol and other such items which is related to, you can say, which is related to coronavirus. And Dr. Ashraf Ghani, Afghanistan's president, expressed his gratitude toward with a tweet, and Narendra Modi replied in this way. You can read the tweet. So, the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi today said that India and Afghanistan will combat COVID-19 together with solidarity and shared resolve. Okay, so this was a very good news, a happy gesture, a sweet gesture by both the leaders from both the countries. Now, moving on to our next news. Yes, so fifth meeting of Board of Governors of New Development Bank took place, and from India, Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, who is Smriti Nirmala Sitharaman, attended this fifth annual meeting through video conferencing in New Delhi. Now let's talk about what is this NDB, which is New Development Bank. So NDB is nothing but it was established by the BRICS countries. If you don't remember the countries of BRICS, so just remember the first letters. B for Brazil, then R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South Africa. These are the countries, these are the members of BRICS countries, and NDB is New Development Bank, which was established in 2014, and the purpose was to mobilize resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging market economies and developing countries. And up till now, NDB has already approved 14 projects for India with an amount of $4,183 million. Okay, so this was all about NDB. Now let us see what was the discussions that were made by our finance minister. So she said she basically appreciated New Development Bank's effort on fast tracking financial assistance of about $5 billion to BRICS countries, and out of these 5 billion, some was also for India. She also outlined various measures that India has taken to respond uh, against the pandemic of COVID-19. She also encouraged NDB to take appropriate actions to join G20 forum along with other multilateral development banks or international financial institutions of G20. She also urged NDB to follow innovative practices in supporting the BRICS nations for achieving their sustainable development goals. So, guys, this is a short question for you. If you know about sustainable development goals, do answer in the comment section. What do you know about sustainable development goals, SDG? What is its target here? And okay, so I hope you answer this in the comment section. For now, only this. Okay, now let's move ahead and discuss another news. So surplus rice in FCI to be converted into alcohol based sanitizer. So this is a very important news. What happened here is that there is an oversupply of rice in FCI. So what they have done, they have decided to convert that to ethanol. Over the surplus amount of rice will be converted to ethanol for utilization in making alcohol based hand sanitizers. So of course you know that ethanol is an alcohol only, and they will be utilized to make alcohol based sanitizers, because there is a huge demand of sanitizers in the market right now due to coronavirus, and for blending in petrols as well. Now, why this step? Can FCI do this? Can they use you can say the oversupplied food grains to convert them into any kind of alcohol or fuel? So yes, according to National Policy on Biofuels 2018, which says that when there is projected oversupply of food grains, as anticipated by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, the policy will allow conversion of these surplus quantities of food grains to ethanol. Okay, so there is a policy, National Policy on Biofuels, which allows this based on the approval of National Biofuel Coordination Committee. So approval of National Biofuel Coordination Committee must also be taken. Okay, so these were all the news from today. Now it's quiz time, so we'll discuss some questions. The first question is, who organized the G20 agricultural meet this year? So it was held via video conferencing. You all know we have discussed this news. Here are your options. So I hope if you have given if you know heard my session completely properly, then of course you'd be able to answer this question. So the correct answer would be yes, Saudi Arabia, because would Saudi presidency organized this meet. The next question is, who is the current Union Agriculture Minister? So yes, this also we have discussed. The current agriculture minister is, here are your options: Shri Narendra Singh Tomar, Dr. Harshvardhan, Piyush Goyal, and Smriti Irani. So the correct answer would be yes, Shri Narendra Singh Tomar. Now, name of the app which was launched by Health Minister recently. So today we have discussed that: India Info COVID-19, COVID India Seva, COVID-19 India Seva, India Fights COVID. So I hope this is also on the cover page of this session. So yes, the correct answer would be option B, COVID India Seva. Now the next question is, MNRE is Government Switch Department. Basically the full form of MNRE. So the full form of MNRE, here are your options: Ministry of New Regenerated Entities, Ministry of New Recycled Entities, Ministry of New Renewable Energy, Ministry of Non-Renewable Energy. So yes, the correct answer would be option C, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Now, the who attended fifth meeting of new board of governors of NDB, which is New Development Board, from India or from behalf of India. So the correct options are Prime Minister, Finance Minister, Foreign Minister, or none of them. Okay, so the correct answer would be yes. Correct answer would be it was attended by Finance Minister of India. Okay. Now let us discuss the question of the day. So the question of the day is, you have to name the countries that form the G20 group. This is a very important topic uh, as far as economy is concerned. So you must know the number of countries or the name of the countries basically in G20 group. Of course, there are 20 countries. So the answer for this, I would want you guys to please write in the comment section the member of countries of G20 group, and the correct answer will be discussed in tomorrow's session. Okay guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Thank you.